Hello, hello, and welcome to yet another amazing Thursday night after dark with Laci and my amazing friend Amber. Amber Coleman, I'm going to bring you on screen now. Are you done chewing your rice cake?
Hi guys, happy Thursday.
Hey, Amber, thank you for making time for me. I know evening live streams are not the easiest for you, so I do appreciate that you always make space and time for this. My name is Laci. If you're watching this for the first time or if you're back and returning, this is Amber Coleman. We are here to bring you, I don't know, a new conversation each and every week relating to moving to Vegas, living in Vegas, buying a house, getting a loan, fixing your credit, having hope of home ownership, and also maybe a little fun and a little wackiness in between. What do you think, Amber? And a rice cake too. And a rice cake too.
We do got some rice cakes.
You knew I
You
was going to
probably
tell
have
you
some
that.
wine over there. I think that sounds a little bit funner.
I don't think I have juice today. No wine. I did forget the wine. I'll pretend it's wine. Anyway, if you're just joining us, whether it be live or on a replay, just want to let you know these live streams are for you. So Amber and I are really excited to just start a conversation, have that conversation. But the reality of why we do these is so that we can answer your questions towards the end or throughout. So if you have questions, okay, look, I look all disheveled today. What's going on here? If you have questions, drop it like it's hot in the comment box below. We will answer your questions. Even if you just say hi, tell us where you're watching from. It's really our pleasure, and we love connecting with you guys. If you're watching it on replay, that's okay too. Please, if you have a question, drop it in there. We will answer those questions. We're really good about answering the comments. And then I'm just going to do a shameless plug, selfish plug in the corner of the screen. Boop, right up there. You got to point to it, Amber, for me because you're closer than I am. You can scan that QR code. I would love to talk with you. If you're thinking about moving to Vegas or investing in Vegas, let's just talk. I don't care if you've made up your mind. I don't care if it's now or 25 years from now. We really just want to chat with you. It's my favorite thing. And I need a friend. So be my friend. So Amber, how's your week been in the crazy market that we've been seeing in the last couple of weeks?
It's been crazy. I think there was a full moon or something this week because it was extra crazy this week.
Yeah.
Usually me, I'm always like, oh, it's great, Laci, it's great. And I'm like, no, it was crazy. I don't know what was happening.
Yeah, there was some delusion in the air with some people. There was some anger. Yeah, there was some of the nutty ones came out this week. But listen, come one, come all. You know, I'll just build a bigger table and put on a shield if you're that kind of crazy. So yeah. The reason we're doing this topic today is, the title of this video is why investors are ditching stocks for Vegas real estate in 2025 is because investors are ditching stocks for Vegas real estate in 2025. So what we do here is we're not here to give financial advice. Amber and I I'm a realtor with a real estate company and a media company. Amber is an amazing branch manager at Guild Mortgage. What number did we land at this year, Amber?
You always are going to make me say that live, huh?
Yeah. What number did we rank?
So in the nation, I believe I was number 43 in the nation.
What? Are you serious?
I'm second guessing myself. I was like, was I number 49? I was in the top 50 of the nation. But based on Scotsman Guide's numbers, yeah.
Amber, congratulations.
I haven't told you that. That was the first time we've said that.
Oh my God. One of the top 50 lenders in the nation, my friends. We only bring the best to you. Congratulations, Amber. I did not think you were going to say that. That's amazing. Wow. Okay, we'll talk. I'm going to put a pin in that, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Congratulations. Wow. So anyway, we are here. We are not here to give you financial advice. We are here to just kind of talk about things that we're seeing in the market and just let you know where it stands. We will never hard sell you. We will always be honest. And if we don't know, we'll say it. And we'll sing and do stupid stuff too. So drop your comments in the comment box. Let's talk a little bit though about the fact that we are seeing a lot of investors reach out to us. I know I am personally, whether it be cash buyers or even investors who are not afraid of the current rates. Surprise, surprise, that there's a reason to maybe not be afraid. And they're just really, really eager to get their money out of the volatile, extremely volatile stock market, and into something that's tangible and that's going to be a needed asset. Talk to me about, what you're seeing on your side.
Okay, so you know what I'm always watching? I'm always watching the rates, right? So today the rates came out. So the rates have been a little volatile in the wrong way this week, right? So this morning I looked at the bond market and the rates follow the 10-year bond. So if you want to see like the fluctuation of rates, it's best to kind of look at the 10-year bond and you can see which way they're fluctuating, right? So the bond went down a little bit today, but I didn't see much adjustment in the rate. So immediately, I'm a pain in the butt sometimes. So I call the lock desk and I'm like, hey, what's going on with the rates here? When am I going to see the adjustments on the rates? And so they're just saying about they're talking about all the volatility in some of the articles that were recently coming out, about margins and stuff like with Walmart and things like that. So I was like, okay, so then I took it as an opportunity. Okay, give me your opinion on things. What are we looking at here? You know what? The thing of it is even the people that do this every single day, that they watch you should see the graphs that they can pull up on their screens because they're watching every move, every inch, every this. They don't know. They don't know what it's going to do because this is such a different world for us.
Right.
Like it's such a different world that's out there for us. So I couldn't really get a straight answer other than like past tomorrow, like what the reports are tomorrow and what to watch for tomorrow and stuff like that. So day to day, it's going to be completely a different ball game of what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of in this market right now, though, for a little bit.
While. Yeah. So I think, all along we were under the impression, well, we knew that if rates did drop, after the most recent Fed meeting, that our market was going to go bonkers. And, I've seen some articles that had said some stuff that I want to share. Let me see if I can find it here.
Share your articles. Yes.
I'm so proud of myself. Spring home sales season is shaping up to be kind of a dud. That's in the Wall Street Journal. I just saw that article. This isn't, again, nationwide they're talking about. Vegas is a little bit different. But one of the things, we are definitely slower in this market. But one of the things that I've just really been kind of noticing is the shift in the type of buyers that are, because I'm still getting calls. Like it's slower, but it's not necessarily slower. It's not slower. Let me take that back. There's a little more inventory because people were like eager to put their house on the market for the spring market. And we're not chewing up or eating up that inventory as fast as we were maybe a year ago. And so, across the nation, though, the same thing is kind of happening. We're seeing everything slow. The volatility in the market for the stocks is eating away at what people may have been planning to use for down payment. People are also just really kind of scared right now. And so, you've said to me a lot of times, like, and we've shown it even on here, like the volatility of the interest rates for buying a house on a minute by minute basis every single day is insane. It looks like a radical heart monitor that someone's going to die because they're having a heart attack, And so one of the things that I'm so impressed about, or I'm impressed by with you, and maybe is probably why you're one of the top 50 in the nation, 40, whatever. Oh my God, is that you are always laser focused on that bouncing ball for your clients. And so we've got a lot of clients who are definitely calling and making the decision to take their money out of the craziness because they just can't handle it anymore. Put it into something like housing, which is always going to be needed. And Vegas is booming, right? Even with the rates, even if they don't use a full cash purchase, like they're still doing it because they know that that's a long-term investment. That it's actually, let me put this up. It's a long-term investment, which we always talk about, but it's really like the kind of investment that people are looking, that always happens with the people with money, move their money when things kind of turn sideways. So this is a Gallup poll recently that came out that said 37% of Americans, not just the rich people, consider real estate the best long-term investment compared to 16% for the stock market. So, when the market's in decline, we know that the preference for stocks goes down and people start moving their money out. And I just really felt we needed to talk about it because I'm seeing an increase in those types of people calling me. Now, this isn't just about, go ahead, Amber.
You know what else I'm seeing an increase into while we're talking about that is people like they say first time home buyers, right? I'm seeing more and more people pull out of 401ks to be able to buy a house versus like keep it in the 401k for future because it's so volatile. It's scaring people right now. But you need a house, right? And I'm seeing people are getting more screwed on leases. So then they're just like, I can't pay this in lease, so let me just go buy something. And they're using their 401k as the down payment. So they're taking out of the stock market, via the 401k to be able to put in as down payment.
Yeah. And so we talk to all types of buyers. We talk to investors, we talk to cash buyers, we talk to commercial buyers, we talk to people who sell it. We do listings too, believe it or not, I never talk about it. We do. And what I'm really seeing is because the market is slowing, what we always see is everyone just pulls back and goes, I'm going to wait for the prices to drop. Ooh, the market's crashing. Or like everyone's like hoping for the crash so they can take advantage and gobble it up, which is really not okay. Like we should not be hoping for a crash.
I know. But the crazy thing is too, is when they're waiting for the market to like They're waiting for a better deal. When the deals come out, like right now, then they're like, oh, the market's going to crash. So it's always like fear is going to stop you no matter what. You're always waiting for something.
Yeah. So 300,000 to about 700,000 is like the juicy, crunchy area of purchasing power right now. As a buyer, it is a juicy, crunchy time to consider buying. And knowing that investors are also doing the same, investors are seeing a better upside for themselves with the money that they have in the stock market than sitting in that stock market. If Goldman Sachs is saying that there's a possible 20% drop coming and huge, tensions with the recession possibility and all the tariff stuff, and like there's just so much swirling, people are like, I need to put my money where I know it's going to be able to be parked for a little bit and sit and still produce revenue for rental properties or whatever, right? So with that being said, the 300 to 700,000 range of homes is a juicy, crunchy space, whether it even is in new home communities or even in resale. And that's the space that most people are renting as well. Rent is on the rise. It is on the rise. It is not going down anytime. There are 1-bedroom apartments in this city that are being rented for almost $3,000. Like, I want to vomit when I say that. So, we just always want to bring forth the conversation to people who aren't investors, who either want to maybe consider trying that with pulling their money out of the stocks and getting into purchasing a home in Vegas, or who are waiting on the sidelines thinking that they're going to strike right when the right thing is happening, not realizing that they have someone like you, Amber, watching every bit on every single day of the market, locking in rates when they go low, like that you're doing that work for them so that they can get the best deal. So waiting isn't the best thing because we aren't prepped and ready to go when it's time to get ready to go.
Can I talk about the renting part that you just mentioned? So here's my take on the rent. And I had to really sit back and think about this because we only have a couple different options, right? We can buy, we can rent, if you exclude living with mom or living in a tent, right? Because I kind of exclude those. But so if everybody's going to rent at the same time, because this is what I'm seeing. Like one client I met with yesterday, he's like, okay, I told I got mad at the place I was renting from. So I told him I wasn't going to live there anymore. And he's like, they rented it the next damn day. So I couldn't even change my mind, which is probably a blessing because now he's going to buy. But if everybody's going to rent, right, there's going to be a shortage of then rentals. And then the prices of rents continue to go up. Plus, that the higher the rent is, the less money you have for savings because you're spending that money on just living every month. And it kind of puts you in a place all the time. So like, the thing that I want everybody to look at is like, it's like we all follow the same trend because we're watching the same media in one way or another, and we just have to kind of think for ourselves a little bit. Like when you buy a house, you're actually paying down on that mortgage month after month after month. So once that mortgage is so low and the values, whether they increase or don't increase is just the cherry on top of the beautiful fudge ice cream sundae that Laci likes to point out all the time, right? So like, but if you're paying down on that mortgage every single month, over time, you're going to owe less on that house and you've actually paid towards your future. Renting, you're paying towards nothing and you're just putting yourself behind on things. And if everybody goes to renting, then you're constantly going to be paying that rising rent year after year. Okay, that was my soapbox.
I appreciate it. I love it when you're on the soapbox with the ice cream sundae in your hand. Once again, I just want to remind everybody, if you do want to get in touch with us and chat a little bit more about your personal experience, there is a QR code in the corner of the screen. Please scan it. Book a time with me. That's my personal calendar. I would love to chat with you. And then once you chat with me, we can put you over to Amber and she can start discussing a game plan. Like we love putting together game plans for people who are way far out so that you know the steps you need to take and there's no guessing. We don't like guessing. I also want to just reiterate, we are not giving financial advice. I am like, let's get real. Like, come on, that's not happening. We are just here to share what we're seeing and what our take has been thus far. If you have something to add, I love it when you guys do that in the comments. Be nice, but please feel free to share your thoughts. We are not here saying pull your money out of the stock market and buy a house. We would love for you to buy a home. If that's the right move for you, then please do that. We're not telling you to cash out your 401k. There have been some people that have called and said, along with my savings that I've been putting away, I might want to pull I've lost XYZ money because of the volatility of the stock market recently in my 401k. It's making me nervous. I might want to pull that money out and park it somewhere else. So we're just seeing a lot of that right now and we wanted to share it with you. Let's jump over really quickly to the comments. Let's say hi to everybody. Please feel free to drop it like it's hot. Let us know where you're writing from.
Oh, Valentine.
Hey, Valentine, good to see you. Bet on Mason. Hey, I'm actually early for me. Hey, Laci and Amber. Hey, Mason. How are you? Living in Omaha, David Matney. Hey, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Sue J said hi from Canada. Hey, hey. Neil Warren. Neil and I were supposed to, you and Neil actually, were supposed to get together this week, but I wasn't feeling well. So I owe you a rebooking, my friend. I'm excited to make that happen.
Glad you're feeling better though.
Thank you. He said, I'm not going to lie. I did not ditch my stock for Vegas real estate. That's okay. That's okay. We're okay with that. We just wanted you to know that some people are doing it. So wanted to have this good discussion. Hey, David Matney said, congrats, Amber. One more time. What number did we land on for the rankings of?
It's definitely in the top 50. It was either 49 or 43. I should remember these things, right, Laci? Based on the Scotsman Guide rankings, okay?
You need to put it in next to your name, dash number 43 in the effing nation is what it needs to say. Congratulations, seriously.
Thank you.
Scott, I like to invest in Laci. Hi, Amber. Thanks for investing your time and watching me. Rob says, hey, Laci, under contract. Thanks to your team. Be there in 2 weeks to close. Super excited, Rob. Woo! I'm excited for you guys. Thank you again for trusting me and for being rad. I just love you guys. All right, let's see here. These are all just hellos, and I love these hellos.
Thank you.
John Harris, hey, beautiful ladies. John said something here. He said, now is not the time to worry. We can't be hippos anymore. We must be like the ant. The market is good. I love when John joins us because he always has such a unique take and such an educated take that's sometimes different from what we're talking about and sometimes different, something new that we've never heard. So I love when you join us, John. Thank you for saying that. That makes me feel good that someone like you, who I know is very educated, feels like the market's going to be okay. So thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Banon Mason says, is Vegas becoming LA expensive? Great question. Amber, what are your thoughts on that?
I bite my tongue when I say this because I don't want this to happen. So just keep that in mind. But watching the trend over the last definitely a few years. Remember, I'm a native here. I'm one of the few. I've born and raised in Las Vegas. Yeah. So watching the trend just over the last few years, probably about 10 years, I'm like, dang, it just looks like it within the next 10 years we might be Vegas pricing. And as they bring in that movie studio,
you think in the next few years we're going to be LA expensive?
No, the next 10 years, I think we're going to be LA pricing. Is that right?
Like, we are not on the same page here. Oh my God. Okay, that's
sorry, I didn't say it right. But next 10 years, that's what I feel like, especially with all the movie studio stuff coming over, because that's a lot of money moving from California over to Las Vegas. And again, I say that with great regret because I don't really want that to happen. But that's kind of what I'm feeling like is where we're heading right now, just watching everything.
Yeah, I do want to always remember too that we are still developing the city, right? So Vegas is still building. So we're not tapped out. We have land that's being auctioned off and built and developed, to accommodate all the people who are moving here. But it is probably true. I would say in the next 10 years. Now, again, I don't know what's happening with, the world at large, neither do you, but just from what we've seen, and me in the last 9 years, you in the last a few more years, but we won't say how many,
we won't.
Has definitely indicated, just honestly for me, just in the last 7 years, I've seen monumental growth beyond what I expected. I actually really, because I'm not a sports girly, I didn't realize the impact that having professional sports was going to have on our city.
I know. I didn't either.
Had no idea. It was bonkers to me. And I'm just going to be very real that my first year in this business, first 2 years, I had probably 70% of the people calling me moving here because of the Raiders.
Yeah.
Like what? Like that's crazy. I was like, really? Like you're following a team? Like, do they know that you like them this much? Like, what's the deal here? Now I obviously get it a little bit more, but it's just crazy. So that is not going to stop. We're going to be adding more professional sports. NBA is always a conversation. MLB, obviously. So so that plus, to your point, the movie studios. So it's really insane. I got a call from a friend of mine who, I won't say his name, but he's a very well-known comedian and actor. And he called me and said, I'm moving to Vegas. And I was like, what about damn time? I've been telling you for like 10 years. And he said, no, I talked to my accountant, my CPA, and they told me when he travels and tours in other countries, he didn't realize, but he was being taxed California money. So he's like, I'm literally going to rent my house out. I'm moving my residence to Nevada. I have more fun in Nevada anyway. And now I'm going to save probably 13% every year. So there's a lot of reasons, and we know why.
Yeah, the taxes are definitely one. Yeah.
But if he's doing it, and the people in the CPAs in California are telling their clients to do that, that's, of course, we're going to be LA expensive at some point. I would say about 10 years. Yeah. So hurry up and buy. Damn it. Hurry up and buy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, hey, Janice. How you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Hey,
Okay.
Janice.
Let me see here. I'm just trying to see if we have any more. Let's see. Angela, hi, ladies. My husband and I can't wait to meet with you, Laci. See you on the 30th. Hey, Angela. I'm excited to meet you too. Thank you. Aussie expat. Oh my gosh. Hey, we haven't seen your name in a while. Hey, ladies, it's been a while. Looking to retire early this year. It's been in Vegas 5 years renting in summer limit. Man, portfolio looks good. Hey, call me. Can we please set up a phone call again?
Yes.
Again, or like, let's talk. Hello, scan the screen right now. Let's do this. Let's see. Oh, Bet on Mason says we've been taking turns getting sick, dude. I don't know what happened this last week. I swear to goodness, it was like another planet crashed into ours, and my body was completely out of whack. I think you said it was something about a full moon. I'm not sure.
So it was something in the stars. It was something uncontrollable by us. So
Neil says, I'm sorry, but if you need to pull from your 401k to buy a house, then you can't afford the house. Neil, I totally get what you're putting down there. It's not that we're seeing people do that to afford the house. What we're seeing is people are getting really pissed off, frankly, about the volatility and watching their investments. Maybe it's not a 401k, but some of them have said that, but they're watching their investments, lose money. And it's just, they would rather put it into an investment that they know is never, that people will always need. I don't want to say it's never going to go down, but people will always need it.
Yeah, and I look at 401ks a little different though, because you're moving it. So when you're because I mean, honestly, a good percentage of the people that I do loans for, they take from their 401k to put as a down payment. You're moving it from one investment to another investment, right? Yeah. So you're gaining in your 401k, but if you take that money, you're also gaining in the real estate market. So you're gaining both ways. So and you have to, in my opinion, you have to have a firm foundation in your life. So like I always say, always invest in your 401k, pull it out if you need the down payment for the house, but then you go back to putting it back, because then you have your foundation laid where you're not going to get kicked out. You don't have to worry about all the things that renting comes to be. And then you're reinvesting back in your 401k. So, and then sometimes like taking a loan out on your 401k is a cheaper interest rate than doing like a grant program. So there's a lot of different movement with the 401k that gives you more options.
Yeah, there's so many ways to slice and dice this. And I think that people get a little bit, I know I'm guilty of it, get a little caught up in thinking there's only one way, the right way or the wrong way to do it. The process of buying a house, a lot of people, say, oh, I got my real estate license and now I'm ready to sell homes. And I'm like, cool. So they want to be trained. And I'm like, no, the training actually is often on the job, not the basics, obviously, but like, because every deal is different. Every structure is different for every loan. Every person's assets are different. Every single thing brings different problems. So it's really interesting. And I think people get stuck in that mindset. So if you can just open yourself up from that stuck experience and realize that, like, don't lose hope, have hope, reach out, let's talk about it. We are like dogs with a bone. We will not let go until we get a house. And we want to make sure your situation is very unique and needs to be looked at individually. So don't let a big blanket lay on top of what you think is the actual experience for you. Neil says, but if your rent is cheap and you're saving money.
Laci, can you hear me okay?
Are you really left behind? Am I back?
Oh, you're back. I think you're coming. Hi, guys. Okay, Neil, you said if you're in a fixed mortgage and your price isn't fixed.
Sorry.
Insurance goes up, taxes goes up.
I don't know what happened. My internet went out, but hi, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Okay, I was just trying to figure out what you were saying and which one you were talking about. So
he's saying if you're in a fixed mortgage, your price isn't fixed, insurance goes up, taxes go up. I'm not sure I understand that. Are you getting it?
I'm not understanding where you're going with that, Neil. You might have
I think he's saying the mortgage really isn't fixed because of the insurance and the tax component, but the mortgage itself is.
Yeah, but okay, like even if you own a house free and clear, taxes and insurance are going to adjust all the time. Your 30-year fixed mortgage, the principal and interest of your mortgage, they're always going to be fixed. Even if you pay your house off free and clear, you're still going to have taxes and insurance on it. So there's no way to get out of that part of it. And those do move depending on what the county does, and then with insurance, what kind of claims you have on your insurance policies. So
I just want to say, I want to ask you a question. What face was I making when I got stuck? And did you get a screenshot? I want to make sure that we got
I should have. I should have. It was always a cute face, though.
Let's see here. Okay. Oh, look, Sue J said she just booked a call. Thank you, Sue. That's awesome. Thank you for trusting me. This is going to be so much fun. Let's see. What makes Vegas somewhat of a challenge for me is I work in transportation, and it's so hard to find a gig that is out of Vegas, but I found something that's actually fun. I get to deliver motorcycles. Dude, that's great.
Oh, that's amazing.
Samuel Michelle said, I knew when sports was coming to Vegas, the days of old were over. It's not just about gambling and the nice shows on the strip. It's becoming a multifaceted city. Sports are changing the culture. Absolutely. And also, like, it's not just sports that are changing the culture. It's just the massive amount of new people. The diversity continues to diversify, if you know what I mean. Like that the adding more people is always going to change a little bit of the culture. But I do want to just reiterate, like, I bleed neon. Okay. You could cut me open right now and I would bleed neon blood. I am in love with this city. And I just want to make sure that we're not doom and gloom about that. The growth is good for Vegas. The prices, it happens to every city. I've known since I was 9 years old, everybody and their mama was going to want to live here. That was my hope. And so,
but you didn't know you were going to bring him in.
I didn't know that it was going to be because of my big mouth, but here we are. It's my fault, guys. But I will say that there's still the essence of Vegas is still here. And I'm kind of a baby when it comes to change in this city. I get really upset when something changes in a way that I don't at all, frankly, at all. Yeah. But I think that there's still the essence of Vegas here. And I don't hate the way it's evolving. We still have that service mentality. We're still the best food. Vegas is dope. Like that's not gone away. So I just want to make sure we all know that Vegas is still cool. Come hang with me for one
night. Make us still Vegas, Laci.
Yeah. You're gonna see that Vegas is still rocking if you hang out with me one night. One night all is all I have. Okay.
She's right about that.
Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna do one or two more, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Hey, ladies, thinking about what is it, Ashisuto? Thinking about moving to your state with rising market volatility. Is the pivot to Las Vegas real estate a true long-term strategy, or just short-term hedge against uncertainty? Really beautifully worded question. What are your thoughts, Amber?
It is a pivot to Las Vegas.
Like, is this?
I think it's a long-term strategy just because of what we were talking about. Sometimes it takes me a minute to comprehend the questions because that was a really good one.
It was like ChatGPT might have wrote that. That's a really
beautiful. I know. So I had to just read it through it really fast. But I think it's a long-term strategy simply because our location. So like I see California is our biggest feeder, right? Because the taxes are so high. Policies don't seem to be changing in California to lower their taxes and their cost of living. So people just get simply like pushed out of there. We're next door. We have no taxes. We have jobs and the weather is nice, right? But not only that, I've seen plenty of people move from Florida. I've seen plenty because of the weather, right? I've seen plenty of people move from other high tax states just to be able to save money. And it's a 24-hour town. Vegas is really like no other place. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's a long-term strategy, especially if, and again, I don't know if I hope that I'm right with the 10 years will be like LA pricing, but it feels like that's the direction we're going. So if you're looking long-term and our prices go to that level because of all the industry that's coming into Vegas from California, it looks more long-term investment to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be either. I'm never a proponent of short-term hedging with real estate because unless it's a market where flips and things are more valid and possible, to me, it just doesn't make sense. But if you wanted to, you could. It would just be. It's a little slower, so it would be just a little bit of to me, a tough play. Not if you're going to rent it out, and there's a lot of components to think about. It could be either, but I'm 100% with you. Much more the long-term strategy. I've seen clients in the last 9 years of doing this job, sometimes within a year of doing the job, gain $100,000 in equity, be able to see that short-term, oh my God, and still stick with it and then watch that ride out in a beautiful way. So I've seen people pay off their houses much faster than they thought because they were able to do some smart movement with with whatever. I've seen them be able to add to an investment portfolio because they didn't realize their house was going to appreciate as quickly as it did. So, what I like to say to people is, and this isn't to like entice you to buy quickly, and it's never a pressure moment, but I always say to people, everybody has a friend that says, I wish I would have bought Apple stock when. I wish I would have bought Yahoo, blah, blah, blah. I wish I would have. This is that time frame. I know we're more expensive than we were 3 years ago, even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, obviously, even a year ago. I know we're more expensive, but we're not we're still in that sweet spot of like, if you're going to say, I wish I would have. That's just kind of how I feel. So there's a lot of factors, you know, again, we're not here to show any kind of anything other than, oh, hold on one second. We're not here to show any kind of bias. We're just here to tell you what we're seeing and what we're hearing. And we always like to bring up the fact that like the news media is going to twist and turn our stomachs and our minds in ways that we should be really careful of, you know, of what we're absorbing. We are not the news media. We are two random cool chicks that are hanging in Vegas that are really about stuff. And one of them is ranked number 43 in the nation for best loan officers ever. Neil says, I miss the old Vegas. Neil, I love you. All right, let's talk one last thing, Amber. Let's talk one last thing. Let's talk about the lock and shop program. So this is something that Amber has mentioned to me a few times, and we've reviewed this a couple times, but I want to, that's not it. This one's it. Lock and shop program. You know, a lot of people who are still like wanting to buy, but they're afraid they're going to miss that little moment, that nugget, that second that they could maybe grab the best rate, that 1 minute in the day that maybe they could have locked it. I thought about this a little bit and I thought, well, don't you have a lock and shop program, Amber? Isn't there a way that they could get pre-qualified with you if they're serious about buying whatever kind of home, right? Investment or for them to live in. They could get pre-qualified, get set up, be ready to go, and know that you're watching the market on their behalf every day. And that tell me if this works this way or not, because, you know, I don't do your business. I'm not number 43 in the nation for a reason. Well, not for lenders anyway. I might be for realtors.
That's because they don't rank, you know, where you're at, right?
I love it for you. I don't care for me. But the lock and shop program, I thought about it and I thought, wouldn't that be an easy way for someone to alleviate the stress of having to watch and trying to figure out when they should jump in and start shopping and be able to lock in a rate that you could help them keep an eye on while they're shopping for the house that they really want when the time is right.
Yes, that was a beautiful idea that you had. So here's the lock and shop, okay? It's a cool program because okay, so just look at what the market has done just recently, right? So the market has gone, what, one day, like 2 weeks ago, not two, it was probably like 4 weeks ago when tariffs first started. So when the stock market runs into problems, they move their money from the stock market into the bond market or more safe havens. That helps our rates go down. But then the minute that the stock market looks like it's going to go higher, then they move the money back. So to catch that rate while it's low, and you know you're buying within the next couple months, you lock in a rate while you're out shopping. We take your loan application, we get you locked in on a rate. You do have to pay like an upfront fee for that to be able to lock in your rate. Then you're shopping for a house. Once you buy the house, you have the ability to float down. If you have a one-time float once you're in the house, to float down into the current rate or to keep the rate that you've locked. So it kind of helps you to like play the game. If you know you're already going to buy, play the game, hit those moments, because what I could tell you is when the stock market is suffering and the bond market is gaining, so we see lower rates. In the last, like, this is even before this year, like in September of last year, it did the same thing. We had a small window of where rates went down and we all got greedy thinking, oh, it's going to keep going down. It's going to keep going down. Right. And then all of a sudden people decide, oh, okay, now I can make money on the stock again. So they pull that money out, put it in the stock market, and then our rates jump back up. Right. Yeah. So typically it's a small window of opportunity that you have to be able to lock in that rate. Lock and shop is that program that will help you to lock it in while you're out there shopping when you gain that little small window. And then you have time to be able to find your house, and you could float down if it goes lower than that after you've locked it. So,
yeah, I think that's like, you know, because the rates I'm not smart enough to be able to watch the rates on a minute by minute basis. I don't have the tools or even the time to think about it. So to me, it would be super smart to, smart to get set up with you regardless for a game plan. And if you're within that 120 days that you've got to move or you're planning to, why not lean into this? It's a really beautiful opportunity to be able to kind of take a breath and enjoy the shopping process and not be constantly waiting to wonder when you're supposed to lock so you can get the best rate possible. And the float down option, chef's kiss. Love that.
Yes.
All right, we got two more, and then we're gonna jump off here. What is this? Corrales Cruiser says, I'm a long-term resident, moved here in 95. Awesome. Just sold our place on the northwest side a few months ago, looking to get something in Boulder City. Also have a New Mexico house to get out of the heat. Isn't New Mexico hot? Dang. I would love to help you with that house that you're looking for in Boulder City. So let me know if you want to scan that little QR
I
code.
think Boulder City is adorable. I love Boulder City.
I love Boulder City. If you haven't seen it, I think I just recently did a couple of videos, back, some information about that. You obviously already know about it because you've been here for a minute. But DJ says, what pool do you recommend on the Strip for Memorial Day weekend? So it depends on what you are. Wait, Amber, what pool do you recommend, Amber? Let me pause.
Well, I'm a personal pool kind of girl, but you get out into the city, so you're a better one to ask that question, right?
I'm dying to get you to come to a day club. It is my mission in life. We're going to do it this year.
Circa, is that your favorite one? Is that that?
No. So my favorite pool on the Strip for any time is Sahara. If you don't want the it is I believe it's free. It's anybody who's 21 and over. It is a really peaceful, calm, vibey place. I love it. I'm there often, so please say hi to me. Don't make fun of my cellulite or any of my, the stuff that I'm already worried about myself, but say hi, please. Sahara is amazing. When it comes to like a day club, EBC, Encore Beach Club, hello, is the #1 spot in town all the time. I'm also there sometimes, maybe more than I should be. I'm not tan yet, so I haven't started that process, but I do plan to enjoy and get a nice tan this summer. Great question. And then, the Palms, if you're a local, you guys may not know this yet, but the Palms, which is a little bit off the Strip, is free for locals, and you can get a cabana for free. You have to book in advance, but you can get a free cabana at the beautiful, huge Palms pool. So something to consider when you move here to be a local. Great question.
That's cool.
Okay. Samuel says, what?
Since we were talking about Vegas, is there any big plans that you have this weekend? Are we doing like EDC this weekend? Or are you?
I am doing EDC this weekend. I pretend that I am 27 at all times. So yes, I am doing EDC this weekend. I just got the report that it's going to be cold. So that means I'm going to have to put more clothes on than I was planning to wear at EDC. If you're going to be at EDC, please do me a favor. And let's see if I can find it here. Text this number. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, I don't have it anymore. I was going to put my phone number up. Text the phone number that's in the description of a lot of my videos, and let me know where you're going to be. I would love to say hi if you're going to be at EDC. Dang, you put me on there. I wasn't going to say anything. Samuel Michelle says, Vegas might be getting more expensive, but it's still cheaper than a lot of the other places in this country, at least the places that are worth living, in my opinion. Look at this place. It's got everything except for a beach. And actually, it does have a beach if you go to Mandalay Bay, or if you go to, you can work out a beach experience.
You just named like five pools in town, so you're all good.
I enjoy the city immensely. I'm one of the rare people who lives here who actually goes to the Strip often. Okay, enough about me. Look at Scotty P, DJ Hancock, back off, she's mine. Is there a fight going on for a fight for me in the comments? I did not know this. Hello. Let's see. Hi, ladies, just joined. Have you been seeing price drops for condos lately? It seems like it for the past couple months. Leolo, great question. I'm definitely seeing drops across the market, but it's largely due to the fact that we've got a little bit of an elevation in our inventory numbers. The drop for condos was only down by about 5,000 month over month from 1 month to the next, not year over year. I think it was I could probably pull it up, but I think it's from March to April, if I'm not mistaken. Same sort of thing when it comes to single family homes. A lot of times though, what's happening with the market is the houses that are getting sucked up and bought right away, that aren't required to do price drops and aren't having to do that, are the ones that people have invested money in to renovate and make them look great and polish them up. The ones that no one's putting any money into are the ones that are sitting, and those are the ones that we're seeing the drops. A lot of times, either the agent is not educating their client enough to let them know that the one that sold down the street from their neighbor Charlie, that had money put into it, cannot be the same price as the one that you have done nothing to. But a lot of sellers don't like to accept that information from realtors because they just don't want to. So we get into a position where we're forced to list it where the seller thinks they need to be making the money, and then death by 1,000 cuts to get to the price point that it really should have been priced at originally. So that's at least what I've seen with some of the newer agents and the people who aren't quite as skilled when it comes to talking to their sellers about pricing the home the right way. But yeah, I'm seeing some price drops. We're not soaking up the inventory as quickly as we were a year ago. So we've got a little bit more inventory.
Beautiful.
Juicy, crunchy time to buy, guys. Best time ever to negotiate a good deal. That's all I'm saying. Okay, let's see here. Electric Daisy Carnival is EDC. He said, what's EDC? My bad, I'm slow. Electric Daisy Carnival. It's a rave. It's an outdoor rave at the Speedway. I don't want to talk about it anyway.
I figured I could put you on the spot a little bit, right?
DJ asked, do I prefer MGM or Caesar rewards? I actually don't gamble at all. And the only time I use the rewards programs is if I go out to eat. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask. Do you gamble, Amber?
I don't gamble. I utilize Vegas for all of the other cool stuff, but not the gambling part of it. But we love the people that do gamble because that's what makes us to where we don't have state taxes.
That's right, baby. That's right. One of the main reasons people are moving here is the lack of income, state income tax, and the low property taxes. And me and Amber, we're here. Why would you want to live anywhere else? Hello. Looking forward to, I'm just seeing if there's anything else here. I know there's probably a few I missed. I'm trying to scan through. I want to just say thank you to you, Amber. I know 6 o'clock on a Thursday, especially after a week like this, is not always easy to come and join me for these, but I'm grateful that you always make it a priority. It's really, really just an honor to be able to have somebody of your caliber next to me, sharing the hope for home ownership with the world and letting people know that Vegas is here to stay. This is no short-term investment, no hedge. We are the long-term investment that I hope.
Well, you know what, Laci, pleasure's all mine. Pleasure is all mine. We were lucky to be able to meet, like, what was it, 7 years ago? And we've been inseparable since then. It's been a beautiful thing.
My friend, it's almost been 9 years. It's almost been 9 years.
Yeah. Well, see, like, I don't want to admit that age thing, so I'm going to always shorten everything down.
I love it. Last one, this is a really good one. It says, hi, ladies, I'm exploring a move to Nevada. With tech and remote work reshaping housing demand in 2025, is Las Vegas emerging as a sustainable hotspot for young professionals? Abso-freaking-lutely yes. Period. That's my answer. We have got North Las Vegas, and North Las Vegas, and Henderson are all bringing new industry. We're not just the entertainment capital of the world anymore. We're far more than that. And we've got new companies moving their headquarters here because of the tax benefits. A lot of tech companies are looking at Vegas as a real possibility for doing the same. And Google's here now. They've got a big data warehouse that they built. Amazon's here. Not that that's tech, but you know what I mean? So there's a lot of growth when it comes. What I love is there's a lot of different types of jobs that are here, even if you don't have to be here, that they're finding. It's like companies are also seeing the benefit of Vegas, not just individuals, which is kind of cool.
Love it.
All right, last thing, Pollux says they need to talk to Jacob about gambling. Yes, our sweet friend Jacob from Jacob's Life in Vegas is amazing. If you don't know his channel, you're blind because you clearly have missed it. He's awesome. He's a good dude. If you want to learn about what's what, please go watch his channel. He's awesome. And tell him we sent you. Tell him.
Yeah. His favorite girl.
Vodka, soda, or tequila? I'm a tequila girl. I know you're not doing any of it, so I'm drinking yours. I'm drinking her tequila.
She's drinking all of mine.
All right, guys, we're going to head out today. Thanks again. Join us next Thursday. We're going to be doing this every Thursday at 6 p.m. And yeah, let us know what you want us to talk about. Drop it in the comments and we'll check it out after we're done. Goodbye. I'm going to eat dinner now. I'll see you later.
Bye.